Well, I don't really know how to start this off. Um, I have been kind of dreading this day for a while. Um, Kind of making a video in this sort of similar manner. I don't have a script or anything. I don't have anything written down. Um, so I'm going completely off cuff here, completely just straight up. It was announced that Mike Darlington was stepping down as CEO of Monstercat, and Monstercat itself has now been acquired by Create Music Group, which is this kind of like bigger kind of conglomerate of like other EDM labels. I mean, they recently acquired Disciple. They have other labels under their belt at this point. And this isn't going to be a video of me going like, "Oh, Monstercat's going to be really bad," or cuz Mike's not a part of it, or this and that. But what I wanted to come on here and say, I just wanted to say a few things because for those that don't know, and I don't know if I've made it obvious enough, Monstercat is a ginormous part of my life. Without Monstercat, I don't think I would be where I am today, creatively, like career-wise. Like, I've always wanted to do music for the longest time because of Monstercat, and the music there that inspired me to do so. I just would not be the same person that I am today without them. One of the reasons I wanted to come out here and talk about this was because I myself have recently stated back in, was it January or February, that I was going to stop doing ranking videos. A lot of people kind of, shared their appreciation for those videos, and their willingness to kind of look out for the future of the channel. And I really appreciate those comments. They have made my day. They have really inspired me to kind of just keep going in my own path. How fitting that just a few months later that Darlington would step down as CEO of Monstercat. And I'm not saying I saw it coming. I really didn't. I really did not see that coming. In the year 2025, a million other things I could have probably predicted. That was not one of those things. In the vein of that, I guess I just want to give a shout out to Mike Darlington, now former CEO of Monstercat and also co-founder. He has done a lot for the community. He has done so much for the community and so much for the label. His influence on not only Monstercat, but like EDM as it is now. His influence can't go unrecognized, and I just wanted to give out a huge, ginormous thank you for everything that you've done for the past 14 years that you've been building this brand, running this business, so on and so forth. And I envy those that are taking on those leadership roles back at CMG, and I only pray that you're half of the creative mind that Darlington is. With that being said, I think it's fair to say the quality we've been getting the past couple years or so is probably going to stay consistent with what we're going to be getting from now on. And I say that personally because the past 2 to 3 years, for me at least, have felt a little bit lackluster in terms of overall releases. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that Monstercat is much more focused on being a business, a brand. And there's nothing absolutely wrong with that. But when it comes to arguments like, introducing sped up and slowed down versions of songs, or having like these giant names on your label, Steve Aoki, Alan Walker had a whole ass EP, a fucking Jonas Brother we had on an Alan Walker song. Like, huge names we've never had on the label before. This is just last year, too. Like, I'm not even talking about, like, Shaquille O'Neal. He had a whole ass album on the label. Just other huge names, whatever huge name you want to throw out there. The point is, they're more focused on being a bigger brand. I'm not necessarily saying, like, they're not focused on quality. Obviously, they're focused on quality. But in order to sustain a business like Monstercat, you kind of have to focus on the business side a little more, or at least a significant amount, than, say, 10 years ago, when they weren't even, like, well, they probably were a business then, but, like, not nearly as much as they are now. I guess my statement on that to those who are going to be taking more of the leadership roles at Monstercat: do not let the business take over the creativity of the artists on the label. Do not let it take over the innovation that you could potentially have. Let artists speak for themselves. Let them create what they want to make. Don't limit them to making something that you think will make more money. Don't limit them to something that you think will make the business / brand look good. What will truly make your brand look good in the long run is if you let artists create the quality that is still at a high standard, but also is their own, like, art. Like, let them share their art with the world, with a brand that accepts their art and is willing to put it out there without having some sort of, like, business kind of backbone to it, where some people are just kind of gonna shy away from it. That is really my only message to those who are going to take on those roles at Monstercat from here on out. Do not take that role for granted. It is a huge responsibility, and I am looking forward to what you guys do, even in like a year's time from now, where Monstercat is from a year from now. On a more personal note, you guys know that I have listened to pretty much every single Monstercat song that has ever been released. Everything from launch week up until, what was it, this new Aura song? Louder? Yeah. Everything from the release like a couple days ago. Like, everything I've listened to front to back. I am a giant Monstercat nerd. Y'all know this. I have the fucking flag back there you've been looking at for the past however long. And even back here, if I can pull it out without killing anybody, I have the Mr. Bill vinyl. I wasn't able to get any of the other vinyls that I wanted, so I have the Mr. Bill one. So there you go. Ever since that announcement of Darlington stepping down as CEO, I've been kind of questioning my relationship with Monstercat going forward. I will still listen. I'm obviously still going to listen to what they put out. I think in terms of like a timeline set of events for me, because I like to think of things in like a timeline order kind of thing. From the moment that Darlington put that tweet out where he said he was stepping down, I think that, for me at least, is the death of Monstercat. And I say that in the sense that it's the death of Darlington's Monstercat. The Monstercat that he built up, again, for the past 14 years. The label that he's been, his baby, pretty much, for the past almost decade and a half. And, he's got his own life, he's got his own... he has his own kid, is also what he mentions in the post. And I feel like I have to reiterate, that doesn't necessarily mean I think every song from here on out is going to be just garbage after garbage after garbage. That's not the case at all. There's actually a couple songs since then that I've actually liked quite a bit. The Aura song, for instance, I have enjoyed that quite a bit. But my point is, there is a set timeline of things, and I say that's like I'm a fucking historian. There's a set timeline to things. Like everything from the start of the label to Darlington's tweet of stepping down. That timeline right there, I think, should be considered the true lifespan of Monstercat. As it was meant to be, as it was built up to be, as it lived to be. So if I ever do cover anything Monstercat related from here on out, maybe not in rankings, but maybe a top this, or if I did like a blank of all time, or like a best songs of all time, or like ranking every Monstercat song, blah 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 blah, I probably wouldn't. But I'm saying if I did, that tweet, whatever release came out on that tweet, or before that tweet, is where I cap it off. And everything since then is now CMG's Monstercat. And what they choose to do with the label is their choice. I respect their choice going forward. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I'll like any decision or every decision that they make going forward. But it is their brand to do as they please with. And I think Darlington knows that. I think they trust them enough to continue the brand as strong as it has been. If Darlington trusts them, then I trust them. But, you know, in the case that it goes kind of sideways, then I just wanted to give this address out to those who are, like, overwhelmed in the position that they're now at. And I just hope that whatever happens to the label from here on out is of good cause and is of good charity and focuses on bettering the world of electronic music and its environment and throughout its community. And with that, I think I've said my piece. I do want to share one little story that I still think about every now and then. And it was back during the summer of 2018. I don't remember the exact days that this happened. There was a new Xorro song. I believe it's called Break Me Down. There was a post. There was like a little teaser. You know how they do like the teaser videos on like social media to be like, oh, here's what the song kind of sounds like. Me being a moron at, I would have been 16 at the time, made tweets that maybe I shouldn't have. In retrospect, and I said something along the lines of this sounds like pop music, this is gonna be terrible, this is gonna sound ass, or probably some ignorant dumb bullshit like that. I don't remember if it was Xorro or if it was Mike who stepped in first, but one of them kind of came in, was like wait until the full song comes out, you don't know if you'll like it or not, or something along those lines. I come at them like I'm a fucking, like, you know, like I'm crunching the numbers on their fucking, you know, YouTube views all the time, and I'd be like, well, if you look at this video, then this has more views, and, you know, I'm Smarty McSmartpants and I know everything about anything. And then Darlington kind of stepped in through his personal Twitter. He knows he would know more than me, obviously. Like, I'm not arguing that. It was a really dumb argument from a really dumb 16-year-old me on a really dumb platform that has gotten even dumber as of late. You know, I just think about that every now and then, and how dumb I was, and, you know, how high and mighty I thought I was in that moment. And I know this was like, what, 7 years ago? 7 years ago. But this would be my formal apology if I had to make one. My formal apology to that stupid argument that never needed to happen. And if Darlington does end up watching this, then, what's up, dude? Yeah, sorry about 16-year-old me. I formally apologize about the stupid things that he said, because he's not me now. And he never will be me now. But yeah, that was the fun little story I wanted to share. If any of you have any, like, good memories or stories that you've had with either Monstercat itself or Darlington himself, then feel free to share that in the comments. I'd love to hear any and all stories that come out of it. This is not my departure from Monstercat, but this is more of a casual, cautiously optimistic side of me that I'm kind of presenting here to y'all, and hopefully I can get rid of the cautious part here in about a year's time. But yeah, I've said what I needed to say. Share your stories down below in the comments. I love reading every single one, as always. I hope y'all are having a great day. Keep being a light in the community, and I will talk to y'all at some point later.